Boom. And we are live. Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are right now. I'm very sure a lot of you must have been waiting for this time because we actually planned this interview last week. We scheduled it for last week, but we couldn't have it. But thanks to God that we are finally here. And guys, I'm so excited to have this conversation. It's going to be an interesting one. So if you can see me clearly and you can hear me clearly, don't hesitate to share this video out with your friends, your colleagues, or any other person you know could benefit greatly from this conversation. And as you can see, I am not the only one. Finally, I have Mr. Ayo with me all the way from the United Kingdom. As you can see from the flyer, Mr. Ayo is a tech consultant, is also a life coach, and not just that, he is a digital business owner. And today, this evening, time check now is 9:06 p.m. here in Japan. And guys, this is my first time speaking with Mr. Ayo. You won't believe it. But all the same, that aside, we are here to learn, unlearn, and relearn. So this evening, join me, guys, and welcoming no other person but Mr. Ayo Alex, all the way from the United Kingdom. So let me give him the opportunity to introduce himself and tell us any other thing you would like us to know about him. Over to you, Mr. Ayo.
All right, thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to speak to your audience and probably some new people there who have not seen me or heard about me before. And I count it a blessing and an honor to be here. I'm Ayo Alex Alao. I am a digital consultant and I've been doing that for over 15 years. Built businesses in the online space. And currently, I'm also a digital business owner with this new business model, that I started not too long ago, and it's been fantastic as well. So it's been an amazing run. Currently based in the UK, I'm a father of three girls and a wonderful wife, just one wife actually, and I don't plan to get another because that's just more than enough. So we've been married for quite a while now. So and it's been a wonderful journey. She's you know she's been a huge supporter of all that I do, and I'm blessed that I'm able to do this. Not just here, speak to people across the world. It's a huge honor and a blessing, like I mentioned at the beginning. So thank you.
Wow, thank you very much for that. Wow, so Mr. Ayo has three girls. I think we have something in common. All right, guys. So straight to the discussion this evening. Tonight, as you can see from the flyer, we will be talking on building meaningful connections in the digital business world. And as you've heard from Mr. Ayo, he is a digital consultant. And this evening, he'll be sharing with us the strategies by which we can build meaningful and strong connections in the digital business world. As we all can see, we are in the digital era. So if you're not online right now, I think you're missing a lot because wow, a lot is going on in the digital
Absolutely.
space. People are earning a lot. People are like retiring early because they have been able to leverage the social media platforms. They've been able to leverage the internet to be able to build something strong, not just for themselves, but also for their families. And tonight, we'll be sharing the strategies by which you can build meaningful and strong connections in the digital business world in order for you to be able to achieve your time and financial flexibility. So, over to you, Mr. Ayo. Can you briefly share with us some of the strategies by which we can achieve this as business owners and even people who are aspiring to become business owners, people who are looking forward to starting their own digital business in the online space?
All right. So I think first of all we need to understand what networking is. This is the digital world, and networking has shifted from the regular traditional means of meeting people physically. Like you mentioned, this is the first time I'm meeting you officially. We've chatted and all that, sent flyers, and we need to start to put that into context that you do not have to meet people physically before you engage with them. Because you're right now in Japan, I'm right now currently in the UK. If you had to meet me physically, it's going to cost you a ham and a leg, to be able to be here physically, and that's almost impossible. You have to plan for days. You're talking about transportation and all of the logistical challenges that would affect that meeting. I'm also talking about availability and all of that, which would make it very difficult. So it's possible now to meet people of means, of value, of immense worth digitally via email, via so many other places. And we could talk about a few places. For example, we're talking about social media generally. So let's look at LinkedIn, for example. You can meet CEOs. I don't use LinkedIn as much, but I still get emails, messages, which translate into emails sometimes almost every other day from people of what I get added as friends. I get this sort of requests from top CEOs, top people in different industries across the world. So it's a global world right now, and we need to understand that the internet has made that possible. So that is, in short, what we call digital transformation, which democratizes everything literally that we do. So now you can monetize what you do in the comfort of your home on the internet. So, and that was not possible, several years ago. And so if you're able to meet people and who have value, and you can forge meaningful connections, it is very possible for you to be able to monetize and make money off such relationships. Because like we always say, information is power. So if, for example, by virtue of this sort of meeting, I communicate powerful information to your audience or to someone in the audience, the person picks that information and uses that to make money. And that way you find out that there are lots of people online. I used to say, now, oil and gas was great, and that era is almost gone. Now we have electric cars and a lot of that. It's happening. Real estate is good, but not everybody can own all the land in the world. The place where you can own your own stake now is to buy digital lands, invest in digital properties, and that's why, fintech and all of the tech, everything, agri-tech, everything now, there's a bit of technology added to it, because we're in that space where the digital spaces world is taking over. And that's why you have a young guy like Mark Zuckerberg owning Facebook and Instagram, and all of that. And you have people, even the richest man in the world went ahead to buy Twitter, to tell you that they understand that the future is digital. Almost everything he does, Elon Musk, talking about Elon Musk, has, a semblance of technology in it. And what is technology? Technology is that thing that brings ease for people. So, for example, if I was to call you without the phone, it's almost impossible. This meeting would not be possible if there was no StreamYard or no technology like this, so that I can speak and you can see me and hear me at the same time, real time. And these things were not possible. It was even difficult before, the advent of the television, for people to see other people via recorded, programs on TV. And now that's possible. Now we have it live, and everybody all over the world can see the same thing at the same time. So if you're in any space right now and you're not engaging and speaking to the language of technology, you're missing, you're losing. It's not going to go for too long, and that's why you have people in healthcare, you have people in finance and all that, all looking for digital opportunities so that they are able to also earn. Because one of the greatest things, like I said, what does technology bring? It brings ease. It means ease, the ease of doing things. Simple. Before we had cars, we had camels. It was difficult, but now we have cars. Now we have, electric cars. Now we have driverless cars. No, so technology keeps making things easier for people. So whatever it is that anyone does, it is important that you're looking for ways, for example, to use the right platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, to engage and meet people. And as you do that, you create meaningful relationships with them. Another thing I'll say is it is also important in this day and age to intentionally build your online presence. There are lots of people who do not understand that they need to, they do not understand the concept of personal branding. You need to be able to build your own online presence as a professional. You need to be able to craft, a proper a LinkedIn profile. You need to be able to craft a proper business page. You need to have probably even a professional website if you want to, and build a consistent personal brand. Know that people need to know you for something. So if I was to ask someone now, what do people know you for? If you ask about me, going back to probably 2008, 9, people will tell you this man has consistently talked about technology and business, technology, business, people getting better every day, which is personal growth. So I've always consistently talked about these things. What are you going to be consistently talking about for the next 5, 10 years? So we talk about the KLT factor when it comes to building online brands. The KLT factor is the know, like, and trust factor. So when people know you, you need to, first of all, be visible before so that they can know you. And that's one of the ways to build, relationships online. Do people even know you? Do you exist in their eyes? If they don't know that you exist, they cannot like you. So you cannot build likability. By the time you're sharing personal stories and personal, pictures and fun pictures and different things, they start to, know you, then like you. When they like you, then they become fans of you, and they're looking forward to your content, to your stories, to your go live, and the different content that you publish on a daily basis. And those are some of the things. And once they do that, so they know you, they like you, then they trust you. When they trust you, they're able to trust. So that's where influencer marketing came from. So when people know you and they like you, then they trust you. When they trust you, you're able to influence them because they know that you're a person of integrity, you're a person of trust, you're a person of value, and they know that what you always bring to the marketplace is value. And once you bring value to the marketplace consistently, the marketplace will reward you. It is a law of the marketplace. It will definitely reward people who bring value to it. So if you keep bringing value, your fans and followers will grow. People who can trust you will grow. And people who can buy from you will grow. People who seek advice from you will grow. People who come to you for consulting will grow. I consult for people even within our own business. That you belong to as well. I consult for people and I charge, so it's a measure of people seeing you consistently showing up and then wanting to say, oh, I know that you've got the best advice when it comes to this. How much would it cost me to be able to have a session with you? And I say, oh, this is the amount. And they say, okay, I don't mind paying. Can I pay for 3 sessions? Because this is what I want to plan. I want to build my brand. I want to build a business in tech, or I want to build my business up. I don't know exactly what I'm doing. I'm struggling with this. I'm struggling with that. Well, how can you help me? Blah, blah, blah. That's okay. With 2 sessions, you'll be fine. We'll have 1-hour sessions, and we have that. So it's now, for what I said, remember, I said, you're going to have to be visible. When you're visible, people know you. When they know you, they like you. When they like you, they trust you. They trust you enough to be able to pay you. They trust you enough to be able to do the same business that you do. So it's easier to influence people when they know that you know what you're doing and that you're a person of value, you're a person of interest, you're global, you're a person with a global mindset. Not just thinking about I'm Black, I'm Nigerian. I'm just not just thinking about being Black and being Nigerian. I'm thinking about the world, because like I said, I talked about that technology helps the democratization of ideas. So when we have ideas, we're able to monetize it across the world. So what I do right now, and I've been talking about it for probably since COVID, I really hammering on it, since 2020. And I was talking about it specifically. Now is the time to go global. If you're doing anything and you're not thinking global, you have a challenge. You might not be able to take every facet of your business global, but you should take every part of your business online. Now, so because tell me what we don't do online now. almost everything is done online.
Right.
So after
We
you,
shop online.
yeah,
We
we
shop
do
online. We
literally
have
everything online. So
groceries
you're going to
online.
book your taxi online.
So
Exactly.
many
You
things
order food
online.
online. If you need
That's
help in your house, you're going to probably check online right now to say, oh, I need someone to fix my fridge. I need someone to do this. I'll come and put a frame on my wall. You're going to check online. So everything is done online. Another thing I'll quickly talk about is what we call, networking etiquette. You need to be able to, you need to have networking etiquette. A lot of people come online, and that's the undoing of a lot of younger people. I'm sorry, I did not mean to. If you're younger, don't think, oh, this man is so old. I'm just a man in his 40s. So don't. I'm so young, and I'm still young in heart. Don't look at the gray hairs as well. So forget about all of that. I'm very young. I'm just saying. But a lot of younger people, like I'll say, come online and insult. So you're building a brand. You want that brand to be known for something, but you use that same page to go on other people's pages and insult them. You've just messed up years. You would never see someone of serious worth who is building a brand. I'm not talking about probably people at the top, millionaires and the billionaires of this world. They can do almost anything and get away with it. You that you're building your brand cannot. You need to master the etiquette, understand those etiquettes, and stick by it. So you're not going to go online and start insulting people. You need to be professional. You need to be respectful, authentic in your interactions, online. You need to understand. I call something the building yourself as the company is the company mindset. So if you look at yourself as an organizations and businesses will not just come online. So let's use a top company probably in the world. I don't know what company exists in Japan, for example. Let me engage you. What company? Let's say Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is everywhere all over the world. So let's
yeah.
say Coca-Cola will never go online and start insulting, using the business page to insult someone. They're not going to be rude and unprofessional. They're going to be professional, and they'll conduct themselves as a brand would. So if an individual who's building their personal brand thinks of themselves as a business, they have that company's mindset. They're building themselves as an organization. They would not go online insulting other people. So what they're going to want to do is conduct themselves in such a way that other people want to transact with them. Other people see them as steady, a steady investment place to want to associate with, that they want to relate with. So even if you're a business person and you become an influencer, other businesses want you to influence for their own businesses because they know that you're a person of worth, of value, a professional to the core. But if you're not professional, you don't show up when you should, you don't turn up, you never, time does not matter to you, all of those things don't matter, people would not want to engage you. People would also not want to, relate with you at some point. And then if you're also not respectful, you're insulting, people would also shy away, from relating with you. And one of the
Close the
other
door
ways you can do that, yeah, go on.
again. I said, with those kinds of attitudes, then you are closing the door against connections. You're closing the door
Exactly,
against people who could have helped you on your journeys. So,
exactly.
like Mr. Ayo shared, there are etiquettes even online that we need
Mm.
to watch on. Thank you very much, sir. You were saying something.
Yeah, I was going to say that, when it comes to networking online, you need to leverage, social media. And I think I started with that, but I didn't mention a couple of things. So, for example, content. Content is king, we always say. You're not going to engage with people without content. So, valuable content is also one of the things you need to do. Another thing you need to do is join relevant groups. So, what groups exist in your industry? Or in the sector that you want to be known in. You need to, join those relevant groups and engage within that network. So that it's not good enough to join a group and not engage. It is of no use when you join. You're not liking, you're not sharing, you're not commenting. People would not know you. Even Facebook recommends, for example, that you comment on other creators, content and posts, because they understand that you'll be seen in other places, and because of that they would recommend your page to other people who might find it very useful. Another one to do is networking events, even events like this. So for example, if we had a comment section where people can drop comments and all that, you can meet people in the comment section, because you'd find out that if you're all here, or if everybody's here, you're here for the same purpose. So you want to go to networking events that have where you would meet people of like minds and with the same purpose. So, and you can do that virtually. You can attend webinars and conferences in the digital world and meet people. So such events, make the most of them, take advantage, of the online space. There's so very many things. And like I said, the mindset has to change from us looking at the online space as something we can come back to when we have spare time. It has evolved. So your friends from primary school are real people, right? And when you engage with them on social media, you may have forgotten what they even look like. Let me give an example. So you have a friend who you probably have not seen in 10 years, and then you meet again on social media, and then you see them and you say, oh, this person looks like my friend, and then you had them, and then you start chatting and relating and all that. 5 years after you've met, you're going to know how they look like every time, as if you're meeting physically every day. The next time you meet them physically, it does not feel awkward. The conversation is, it's not cold, it's warm. Why? Because you've been relating online. They've been seeing you, seeing your content, you've been chatting. As opposed to friends you've not seen for 15 years, and all of a sudden you meet them somewhere while you're shopping. You're shocked at what they look like. You're shocked at how they sound now. Probably because you've not seen them for several years. And so social media and technology has helped us when it comes to networking to bring what we call real life. It brings it online, but we need to understand that this online space is actually reality. We have to now start thinking of it as our reality. So let me give another example. There are people who've never met one another, but they argue and fight online as if they met one another. They've never known one another. You don't know the person's temperament. You don't know how they sound, what they look like, who they are, whether they are tough or easy or wicked or or great or loving and all that. You don't know all of that about them. By just their interactions online, you sum up who they are. You don't interact with them, and then you start to, get angry at the person you've never met. So
it's really very funny.
So these things happen, and we need to now start putting it. That's why I say we need to treat the online space as if it was a real world. So what you need to do in the real world, you wouldn't do that. You would want to meet the person and have your own assessment of them in reality before you judge them, or before you say, oh, I don't want to be close to this person, or I want to be close to this person. But because we assume that it's just online, this is who they are, and all of a sudden we sum up in our minds because we think the online space is in real in quote. So we need to start understanding and putting things in perspective that this may be our world forever. And as a matter of fact, this is going to be our world forever. I know there's augmented realities and all of this goggles and things where that bring some things that intensify the experience and makes it a bit more immersive. But then not everybody has access to all of that technology. So what we have is engaging on social media to meet people, and once you assess them, the ones you can learn from, engage, and all of that, and then try and reach out. So once you connect with people, reach out to them, and connect with them, and before you know it, you never know where the relationship goes. If you treat it like you will treat it in the real world, then you would understand that you might meet people who would eventually become your mentor, and you will never meet them in reality. Exactly. You might meet people who can change your life, and you will never meet them physically, never. So once we understand that, we'll put these things in perspective, we will be able to now, build stronger relationships from these online spaces that I've mentioned, and then we'll be able to take advantage, of the online space. If you want me to go on, I could still talk about one or two things. And then maybe
You've
you can
answered
run. If
most
not,
of the
then we
questions.
can run that.
You've actually answered most of the questions
Wow.
I had in
You
mind
know,
to ask you. I was
oh,
about
really?
asking you that, I understand that building connections in the digital space involves leveraging social media platforms, but there are some people who actually want to make use of the social media platforms, but some are still a little bit skeptical, like, oh, some are concerned with their time. How can I manage my time with having a regular job? How can I start a business online? Like, they don't have the time. And some are like, do I have to be online 24/7? And some are actually like, they are interested in starting a business online, but possibly they do not have the courage enough to look through the processes involved, to look through the things involved in them getting started. So what would be your advice for this set of people? They want to start something online, but yet they don't want to be seen online. They don't want to really come online as such. And I know you and I both know that it's very difficult to build a business online if you don't want to make yourself visible.
I think it's a very difficult thing to want to be anonymous in this day and age, where all your data, whether you like it or not, is still somewhere online. So, what I would advise anyone who's listening or watching this is, first thing to do is, probably find information online, follow the right people, and then find information online that tells you how you can protect yourself. Now, there lots of things I share online, and on some of my platforms I can be very popular. So I built both types of worlds. So I built brands, for example, that probably up to 600,000 followers on Facebook on some of my pages, and the people who follow those pages don't know I own those pages. But if you're going to build a personal brand, like I am building, for example, on my platforms, the Ayo Alex Alao on Instagram or Facebook or my profile and all of that, you will need to show your face. Like I said, people need to know you. They need to like you. They need to trust you. You're not going to make reasonable money online. So, for example, imagine an actress. I posted about an actress who was making over several millions of dollars on social media through YouTube. But she's an actress. People know who she is. They know who she is, and that's why they're engaging with her. So people would need to know you and trust you to be able to, follow you and see you as a person of value and interest, someone who they can listen to. So a lot of people who do that, trust me, I've counseled and mentored a number of people. Those are the people who carry some of the most powerful virtues and skills in the world. But because they're used to their own space, they really do not want to share that online. And let me take it a bit deeper. It is a I'm really looking for a word that I'll say that doesn't offend, but I think it is even an insult to the skills that God has embedded in you if you're not willing to share it with someone else. So there are people who are dying right now because one person isn't sharing their gift with the world. Let me put it that way. There are people whose lives will never remain the same if you know, maybe not everybody, but if you know that you have something on the inside of you to share with the world and you do not share it.
Keep it to yourself.
So it's your you would not be fulfilled if you know that you have this thing on the inside and you do not share it. And it is so easy to start online. Like I said, find out ways you can protect yourself online. Number two, once you now know that, find out the right people to follow. Follow the right people. You will be inspired by their growth, by their journeys, by what you're seeing them, the real people that you know that you can connect and relate to. The more you do that, the more you'll be empowered and you'll become confident in this thing that you want to. Now, not everybody can go online like you and do live streams, and all of that, which is fine. So you can start posting, maybe, from once in a while, sharing photos. You don't even need to share photos of your family yet and all that. The more you get confident, the more you can do it. But every one of us has to have something, that you're sharing, even if it's on your profile, even if you don't have a page. But so for someone who knows that they're going to go into business, you're going to have a business page, you need to. And do you have to be online 24/7? The answer is no. Sometimes I don't spend more than 2 hours online. And it looks so as if sometimes I'm everywhere. Yesterday, I had only one post on all social media, just one single post. And that post probably has over 500 likes or more, now. But the thing is, I built it gradually, up until the point where people look forward to maybe the content. There was a time I was not online, I got tons of messages. Sir, we're waiting for your post. What's going on? Are you off? All right, Mr. We've not seen you for a while. What's going on? I think I was off for close to 2 weeks, and that was it. So it is important. It's about, you don't need to share all your personal information online to be able to do that. You don't need to also spend all the time online. There are tools now on Facebook, for example, that you can download and use to schedule your
Your
posts.
posts. Yeah.
You can do that. You can do that. And by the time there's the one called the business suite. You can download it, for example, and you can schedule posts before. So at the time where you want it to go out, it goes out. And that's it. So it is important to understand that you don't need to spend all the time in the world. There are other tools like ChatGPT that you can use to create content. And you can give it prompts to create content for you. You can also search for content on social media, on search engines, find what is relatable to you, and then, rewrite them and then use them and repurpose them. So there are lots of things that you can do now that the internet has made easily accessible to us, and you just need to leverage on that, and then you'll be able to start building meaningful relationships.
Wow, thank you so much for that wonderful contribution, sir. And just to bring this conversation to a close, one last question for people who have been watching and they've been saying, oh, there's an online business opportunity, there's a global business opportunity. We've been talking about these. Okay, how do I get started? I
Okay,
want
so
to.
yeah, go on. You were saying
Yeah,
something.
like, oh, I would like to start a business online. I would like to be a business owner just like you guys. As you can see, Mr. Ayo is also one of the digital entrepreneurs in our global community. And yeah, so for people in these shoes who are thinking, how do I become a business owner? Leveraging this global business opportunity, how do I get started?
It's pretty easy, to be honest with you. One thing I'll say before I say exactly how you start is the online space has made it easy for people to have time freedom, location freedom. I can, for example, I'll use myself as a typical example. I've not done any other job in the last 12 months, because, and I've not stepped out of my house to earn a pound, because I make money online. So as I've woken up this morning, up until this point, I've made money. Yesterday I did make money. Every single day I'm making money online. So the online space is there for whoever wants to take advantage of it. If you know what is good for you, you can still keep your job, but invest. Now is the time. If you're going to plant a tree, the best time to plant it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. The next best time is now. It is important to build something that you can benefit from, your children can benefit from, and future generations can benefit from. And building online is one of those ways that you can build something that in the next 10 years you're still taking advantage of it. There are people in the business community who have been there 7 years, 6 years, 5 years, and they're making a ton of money. Apart from that, they have time for their families. That's one of the most important things. I'm a very family-oriented person, and it's important for me to be able to give my children what I did not have. And that is not just money or education. It is also time. time with them, to be able to give them this mindset that I have, the wealth mindset, even while they're young, to let them understand that almost anything is possible for them, to help them understand how to speak online, how to write write books, how to draw, how to convert their skills to money, teach them all those things, and share love and go out and travel and all of that. All of that is possible because I also earn online. These things would not be possible if you're not able to, if I was only able to exchange the time I have every time for money, I'll probably earn less. But while I'm speaking now, I'm earning money, and I could check and I know that I've made money. So it is important. And one of the best platforms that I have seen, and I've talked about that even inside of, on the inside of the groups, that we have, I've talked about some of these things before. This is hands down one of the best and one of the biggest that I've seen. One of the biggest opportunities in terms, and this is not a get rich quick scheme, which is one of the things I like. I'm a person of serious integrity. I can say it anywhere. You can Google my name. I've never cheated anyone. So if I speak to you now about this and you're listening, you should you understand that what we're talking about right now is, we're talking about people who have integrity. And I would not be on this live if I did not check out your page, for example, to see that what you consistently talk about is not misleading to people. So, and this business particularly, I've met loads of people, and I mean loads of people of integrity and serious value. People who are doctors and lawyers, and people, top-notch people in their own rights, coming into this business, and they're doing extremely well. People of different races and colors, and backgrounds, and we're, meeting and relating and networking and doing very well. I've been in the business for a while now, a little while, but I've grown very quickly because I've learned from different people, the people who have been old in the business, the young in the business, and different other people that I've interacted with. So it is mostly important. If you're thinking and you're on the fence and you're afraid of losing money, there's nothing like that in this business. If you're afraid of selling, there's nothing like that in this business. What you get is a mentor and a coach, and that is one of the best things I know about this business. Why? Because a lot of people struggle in the different opportunities online, and I've been online for a long time. I've seen several opportunities. One of the biggest challenges is there's nobody to really, truly take you by the hand and walk you through the journey. None. Most of them, once they take money from you, or you invest in the business, or you become a part of the business, that is the end. You're sending unlimited mails and all that. Here in this business, you have one person who is number one dedicated to you, who's a mentor, and you also have another person who is dedicated to you as well, and you can always relate to if you can reach your mentor, who is your coach. So, and your strategies. Those two people can strategize with you, work with you, walk through you. So even if and I've mentored people in this business who, for example, who do not know anything about social media, and now they are gurus. So you can imagine. So if you're wanting to start, that is TUNSROY's website. Go there, sign up, and then get started. That is all you need to do to get started. Sign up, and then you get you watch the webinar online, and then get started. You start getting a series of emails, follow them, reach out, and then communicate. And before you know it, you're asking the right questions because you watched the webinar. A lot of people too want to do business but are lazy. I tell you, nobody builds wealth who is lazy. Nobody. It is impossible to build wealth while you're lazy. You need to be able to read. You need to be able to work. You need to be able to do. So even if it's those 2 hours or 3 hours that you're going to commit to this business, use it to build your business. It is not going to build itself. So this is a proper business, and you cannot start a business without an investment. So at some point, there will be an investment act of you to say, okay, all right, this is what it requires, and get started. But there is no one who I've seen who is doing all that I've talked about, and they're not doing extremely well. I'm not talking about, there are people who are doing 5 figures consistently for months on end, for years now. Some people have been on 5 figures every single month. So it's not rob Peter to pay Paul. It is a structured business. The back end, fantastic. I'm a tech person. I build website. I build business. I build several websites for a lot of brands. And I can tell you the back end is so loaded with information, with educational, material that you would take and run with and grow step by step, gradually, and before you know it, you're speaking like myself, TUNSROY, and you're wondering, when did I become this? But as long as you continue to, learn from other people, you're definitely going to grow. So it's pretty easy. Get started. And that is how I started. I found out about this last year, and I got started early this year. And the rest is, the rest they say is history. And in the next 6 months, I already have on my vision board what I want to become in this business. It's simple.
Ooh la
So
la.
it's pretty much what we need to do if you're going to become successful. Learn from people who know the way, and follow them. That is how to become successful.
Wow, wow, wow. It's been a wonderful evening with you, Mr. Ayo. I believe all our viewers out there must have gotten one or two things from this inspiring conversation. And like Mr. Ayo shared, I don't need to explain again. He has said a lot about building strong and meaningful connections in the digital business world. How to go about it. If you didn't join us at the beginning of this conversation, just try and replay this session. And if you will be watching the replay, let me know where you're watching from. And you can as well ask your questions in the comments below. We'll be looking forward to reading from you. And if you would like to get more information, go ahead and just click any of the links uh, before you sign up with your name and your email address. And we'll definitely get in touch with you. On this note, I'd like to say a very big thank you to you, Mr. Ayo. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have you with me this evening. I really appreciate it. And guys, that's all for you tonight. Till I come your way again, Estelle Rhoda. Have a wonderful night's rest, guys, especially for people here in Japan. And for Mr. Ayo in the UK, I think you guys are still enjoying your day. Enjoy the rest of your day, sir.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
very much, guys.
It's a pleasure having you,
Bye.
and bye bye. God bless.